you. We want to hear your ideas. We want to partner with you. We want your insights. And the relationships that we build with you strengthen the United States. You guys have great information. You have great ideas. You have great experience. And because of that, we selected you for this program. All right. And so that is exactly what we're doing. So they are a cornerstone of our public diplomacy work in all of the missions. So I'm sure you have a relationship of some sort with the public diplomacy team at your embassies, yeah? Okay, maybe just a little bit. Hopefully you have some relationship with somebody at your embassy, because we sent you on the exchange not just so you can have a good time, right? Hopefully you had some fun. But the real reason was to build a relationship with you and for you to build relationships with Americans. All right? So it is all out of our self-interest, because we know that when your countries are stronger, the United States is stronger. When your countries are more prosperous, the United States is more prosperous. When you're more prosperous, we have better business partners and better business opportunities. And so that is why, like when your countries are more stable, when your countries have a thriving civil society, when your countries have an educated populace, a healthy group of people, when all of those are there, it makes the whole world stronger. It makes the United States stronger. So that is why we do these exchange programs. But it's not just a one-way street, okay? Both from the embassy, we need to be reaching out to you more. I know certain embassies have been stretched thin and they haven't been as active with all of the alumni that they want to be. I know I've been in this situation myself where I'm one officer and we have 4 staff members and life is crazy busy. We're not always making the most of what you have to offer. But then there's also, you guys also sometimes get back from your exchanges and we never see you again. So that is what we are trying to do differently, all right? We want to keep the relationship alive. It is not just like we sent you and that's it, we're done. We sent you and we want to keep the relationship alive. We don't only want to hear about your exchange program, but we want to hear about what you're doing in a year, in 6 months, in 5 years with what you learned on that program, with the connections that you made. And so that is why, and having done this, so Ben and I have been, doing a lot with alumni for the past 1.5 to 2 years. And there is so much happens when we bring alumni together. When we bring 3 alumni together, when we bring 50 alumni together, when we bring 200 alumni together, amazing things happen. And this is why we brought you here. Because we've been, connecting alumni within Zimbabwe. But we also hear from our colleagues and other missions and embassies that you guys, the alumni in other countries, are doing awesome things too. And what an amazing opportunity if you start working together, sharing best practices, sharing those ideas. So that is why we did this. We, as Secretary Rubio said, and I know you'll be hearing in the news a lot, about the America First agenda of this new administration. But Secretary Rubio, our new Secretary of State, said, America First doesn't mean America alone. We know that we need partnerships, and you are the exact people that we want to be partnering with, all right? While there may be changes in your governments and my government and other things like that, the personal relationships that we are building, the personal relationships we have between our countries are enduring, all right? And while policies might shift and funding might shift over here, what we are doing is enduring, and we want the relationship with you. And that is the whole reason that we did this. Right, Melanie? All right, because the other thing is, all of those things that I mentioned before about making our countries stronger and safer and more prosperous, those are the bedrock of U.S. foreign policy goals. And you all help us meet those goals. And hopefully, in some ways, we can help you meet your goals as well. Whether it's connections, whether it's conversations, whether it is, who knows about funding in the future. But the idea is that we can work together to accomplish great things. I have a colleague who, I don't know if he's here now. Kenneth, are you here? I don't know. He's busy working around. But he works at the embassy in Zimbabwe, and what he is able to accomplish with no money is amazing. It's incredible to me how many people he brings to the embassy, how many people he brings to our American corners to network, to build their skills, and we don't spend any extra money on any of those programs. I'm just like, how many hundred people are we expecting today, Kenneth? All right, this week, how many people are coming through? He is constantly thinking outside the box, building partnerships, using the resources that we have already, using the spaces that we have already for free. And he is building an incredible network of alumni-led. I mean, I know that Nancy and Doris can attest to this, right? They're both here. They use our space constantly, doing incredible, incredible things. And so I just wanted to say at the outset of day 2, while the funding future is uncertain, there is still so much that we can do together. Because as was mentioned multiple times yesterday, in business and in life, it's not what you know, it's who you know. There are people in here, in this room, that can solve a problem that you have. You can solve a problem for somebody else, all right? We can collaborate to get things done, even without a lot of, like we don't have to think about it needs to be a big dollar sign. Because I imagine if you think, what are some of the most impactful moments in your life? You didn't have to pay a lot for them, okay? Their relationships, their experiences, and using those, using your amazing ideas, using your incredible innovation, we can absolutely work together to achieve our mutual goals. And that is why we are doing this today here. So exchange alumni have an incredible role to play in strengthening relations between African countries and the United States. You are the civic leaders that we are talking to. You are the business innovators that we are trying to do business with. You are the advisors. You have all of this really great insight, and you have a fantastic role to play. So I know I mentioned yesterday that I was a Peace Corps volunteer. And in the Peace Corps, we have 3 goals. And they're kind of similar goals, I think, to exchange alumni, okay? So the first goal is to increase skills, abilities, and connections in the countries where we're serving. So as a Peace Corps volunteer, I was a teacher, I was an AIDS educator, I helped youth empowerment projects. So I did all kinds of fun stuff, and I helped build the capacity in the village that I was in. The second goal was to tell people about the United States, tell people about our values, tell people about the rich awesomeness of the United States, how different it is in different places, how it's made up of people from all over the world who have really great insights, people with all sorts of different views and ideas. And so telling people about the United States. The United States is not just California, it's not just New York. And then the third goal is when Peace Corps volunteers return to the United States, our goal as returned Peace Corps volunteers is to help spread understanding about the country that we were assigned to, right? And so part of that is just building those connections and breaking down stereotypes and understanding that we are all people, we are all humans, and these connections are what will make us stronger. So I want to thank you all for being here today. I want to thank you for being someone's solution. I want to thank you for inspiring other people. I want to encourage you to keep talking, keep these conversations alive. We will come up with some sorts of a kind of a way to keep this group connected. You all have access to the summit website, correct? I think we're going to use that a lot in this coming year. It's already there. We're going to be putting the recordings of the different sessions so you can refresh your memory, or if there were two at the same time and you weren't able to go to one, you can watch it there. You can share it with other people. But I think we'll come up with some way to make this an innovator space, a place to connect, and not just the people who are here, but the alumni across the whole southern region, because I think together there's nothing you can't do. And together, when you working with the US Embassy, I think there's a lot that we can accomplish towards our mutual goals. So I just want to thank you. I know that there is a ton that we can do together. And I look forward to more conversations at the end of the day around where do we go from here. So thank you guys very much for your time. Thank you for being on time. And I wish you a fantastic day too.
Can we have a better round of applause for Becca? Look at the amazing work she's done. She got us all here. Oh, and Ben. Not to forget Ben. Good morning, Ben. This Ben. Sir. Okay. Yesterday's Ignite talk did exactly what it was supposed to do. It definitely ignited a fire in me. Who else had their fire ignited yesterday by the talk? About how we need to do better as Africa? Maybe also learn that Africa first, so we can do a whole lot more to better the lives of Africans? I was definitely inspired. And I hope today's Ignite talk does the same. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Barzilai Antonio Kuvaka from Mozambique. Well, today's Ignite talk is on building leadership skills through communities of practice, a short, inspirational, and action-oriented talk by an alum. Good morning. You may be here. Which one do you want, my mic or?
Wow. Wow. Yesterday I was wondering, which room will I be giving my Ignite talk? The small rooms or the big room? I guess my dream came true. Thank you for having me, everybody. Building leadership skills through communities of practice. Can you help me? Okay. I'm trying here. How does this work, please? All right. Okay, great. So my name is Barzilai. I am from Mozambique, an English teacher, and my purpose in life is to transform people through education, specifically through personal development and English skills, as well as entrepreneurship. I never set out to be a leader. Honestly, I was just trying to make ends meet. Making a difference? Nah, never thought of it. Growing up, even though I loved languages, all I wanted was to become an architect. Maybe because mom said so. I found my purpose in the struggle that people had in finding jobs simply because they didn't speak English. I was like, English? Come on. That's something I can help with. That's why I started BLS, a language service provider, in 2015. But leadership? Nah, that's something I had to learn, and fast. So for 3 years after I started my business in 2015, I was a solopreneur, a lone wolf, a one-man show, until Yale Pretoria happened in 2018 and taught me that every great leader is shaped by the people around them. You see, early on, I thought leadership was about control, giving instructions, setting the pace, and paying the bills. But I came to learn that, that's not leadership. Because micromanagement suffocates potential. People do their best work, not out of fear, but because they believe in the vision. So I changed my approach. I embraced macro management, trusting my team, inspiring them, and fostering growth. You see, something incredible happened when I did that. They took ownership. They didn't just work for me, they worked for something bigger, but way bigger than all of us. Leadership, folks, is not about authority. Leadership is about community. It's about building spaces where people can learn from each other. Leadership, my dear friends, it's about learning from each other. Leadership is about supporting each other. At BLS, we build communities of practice, not just a business. It's not just for the money. It's about supporting. It's about helping others grow. One of our biggest initiatives, Bolsas de Estudo Vitória. Not the Victoria Falls. Victoria after my mom, my late mom. She passed away, unfortunately. That's the little picture out there. This is a fully funded scholarships for young men and young women who can't afford English courses. And we include a transport stipend because we understand what's the use of giving a young man a scholarship if he can't pay the bus fare to go to the institution? So we give this little stipend. Well, in this scholarship program, we brought this into existence, into execution, because we understand one thing, one very important thing. Leadership is not just about climbing up. Leadership is about pulling others up with you. We also started free personal development workshops because leadership isn't just about skills. Leadership is also about mindset. You see, when people realize their full potential, they lead themselves and others forward. The real impact, I've seen students walk into BLS uncertain, afraid, but I've seen students walk out of BLS with confidence and landing jobs they never thought possible. I've seen presidents and delegates and diplomats delighted that their events had no language barriers through simultaneous interpretation. But not least important, my dear leaders, every day I see my team and I making a living out of this little initiative. So what did I learn out of all of this from my journey? I learned that leadership is not about standing above. Leadership is about standing with. It's about creating communities that inspire growth, accountability, and most importantly, purpose. So I ask you today, how are you building leadership in your communities? Together, we can build communities that change lives. Thank you. Can I hand you over back the mic, please?
Yes, I'd like to go away with it.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for that power talk. I think it was very inspirational.
That was absolutely amazing. He said leadership is not about what?
Standing above, but standing with.
We heard so many different things. And we're in the same room. I should be worried. You ready for your breakout sessions? Okay, let's go.
All right, so we're going to have, can you take your program of events out, please? So, oh, you've got them, thank you. So that you actually not out. So the first conversation is around harnessing emerging technologies for progress. This panel is about discussing and spotlighting examples on how emerging technologies can promote social and economic progress. It's happening right here in Kalala. Everybody say Kalala. Fantastic. Then this is the second one.
The second one is advancing human rights in Southern Africa. That's happening in Gwai.
Say
Where is
Gwai.
it happening? Okay, I guess you heard right. Well, this one is our spotlight on community level efforts by alumni to advance the democratic space and advance human rights in Southern Africa. The panel discusses trends and emerging issues in the regional governance framework. So if that's something you're interested in, we're going to where?
Gwai.
Good.
I don't think they covered. Where are we going?
Where are we going?
There we go. The next one is happening in Kazuma. Everybody say Kazuma. Thank you. This is about progress towards sustainable cities, and we're focusing on making cities and human settlements safe, resilient, and sustainable. This panel is individuals working in waste management, renewable energy, as well as architecture.
And we do have our fourth conversation, which is around novel regional health interventions. It's happening in Matetsi.
Matetsi.
Matetsi. Did I pronounce that right?
Matetsi.
Matetsi.
Okay, can you help me? Everybody say? Did you get that?
Matetsi.
No,
Is the T, do I pronounce the T?
how do we tell you?
Shamwaris. Wait, does Shamwari like go like plural? Can you say Shamwaris?
No, it's Shah.
Is that
Just
Shah?
say Shah, yeah.
Okay, Shaz? Plural?
Shah.
Okay, just Shah. We're going to Matetsi.
Right. What's happening there?
Well, the focus on alumni with innovative health solutions, if that is something you're interested in, then that is exactly where we're going. Where are we going?
They're not so confident. It's Matetsi.
Okay, cool.
There we go. Then after that, we're going to have a tea break. Then we converge here once again. But let's just be, on point and on time. Is that all right?
Do
Fantastic.
not be late. May the force be with you.
Thank you so much. Let's go to our breakaway sessions.